So I wanted to film this video to talk a little bit about my story as an email marketing agency owner. How I got my first client particularly. I get a lot of DMs about it. And I've recently hit a few pretty solid milestones in the agency. So I wanted to make a bit more content like this, a bit more personal content, behind the scenes, storytelling. Yeah, I guess share my thoughts. It's not something that I thought I would be doing, but a lot of people have asked me in DMs, comments, etc. to share some thoughts. I talked to a mentor the other day about content because it's something I need to get better at, and he simply told me to tell some stories. So here we are. Yeah, we've now in the last year worked with 70 or 80 different e-commerce brands, some as high as 9 figures, which has been a recent milestone we've hit, which has been really exciting. And it sort of flashes me back to when we started working with our first client in 2020. So when I first started email marketing, all I knew how to do was email marketing. So I actually entered the market as a freelancer, already having the skills. So when I was 19, I think, I got a job at an e-commerce brand where they taught me Klaviyo and they taught me email marketing, and I essentially upskilled from there. It was very self-taught. I had a mentor at that job at the time who taught me basics of writing copy, taught me basics of how to structure an email, and we went and I made that company about $1 million in the first year. They had a very good traffic level, they had a very good business already, so it was relatively easy for me as a beginner to come in, learn some things, get on Twitter, learn from some people, and scale this company's email revenue to about $1 million. So from there, I was like, look, if I can do this for these guys, I can do this for other brands. So I went on Instagram, I DM'd like 50 businesses. Now, in hindsight, I actually probably got pretty lucky with my first client. I know plenty of people out there who are starting today in today's market who probably have to send like 200, 300 messages to even get a response. And I went out and I DM'd about 50 businesses and I got pretty lucky. One of the first people I DM'd responded, and I essentially offered to give them free email marketing for an indefinite period of time. Now, this was a brand called 9 to 5 Fitness. They were run by 2 influencers on TikTok at the time who were sort of blowing up during the COVID era here in Australia. They were selling fitness programs. What else were they selling? I think they sold fitness apparel, like, clothes for gym workouts and shit like that. And they essentially said, sure, come on. I can't remember how much revenue they were doing at the time, but they weren't a massive business. And essentially I said, I will work for free for a month to prove to you that I can make money. And then after that, I will work on like really, really slim commission on the sales that I make for you. So there we went. For a month, I worked for free. I made good content. I fucking worked like a dog to get results for them. And, I think I made them maybe 2 or 3 grand in the first month of working together, and they were really impressed. So after that, we moved on to a commission model. And literally probably for the next 3, 4, 5 months, I worked just with them as my sole client as a side hustle for my main job. And they were paying me, I don't know, 200, 300 bucks a month, maybe max. Like there was months where they were paying me like probably as low as 200 bucks a month. And that was fine. I was happy doing it. Like this was going to be a great case study for me. I saw this as a way for me to get my foot in the door. I had, excuse this, hopefully that worked. I had a really good working relationship with them, and it was great. But fast forward maybe 6 months, I got a job at another marketing agency, and I was sort of just going through the motions. I wasn't sure if I was going to try get more email clients, if I was going to work this job at this marketing agency, or if I was going to start some other business. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but all I knew was that I had email marketing as my core skill set. They introduced me to one of their other friends, another influencer, Prime Train. I started working for his company and similarly got similar results. Got to the point where between the two of them, I was probably earning like, I don't know, 1,500 bucks a month, 2 grand a month between 2 clients, like really low compared to what we charge today. And, but this was awesome. Like for me, earning 2 grand a month, working for myself, having these 2 clients who I got along with really well, like it genuinely changed my life, and I'll be forever grateful to them. But what that showed me was that I had a skill, I could do it for people, and I could, work for these clients who valued this skill, and I could make them money and they would pay me. Win-win situation. From there, I started sort of ramping up the outreach slowly. Took on about, 3 or 4 or 5 more clients in the next sort of year. But I probably worked 1 year freelancing, sort of half-assing, trying to work out whether I was going to scale it, whether I was not going to scale it. And over that year, I was working with maybe 5 brands and earning like nearly not much money at all. and I was still working a job and stuff. So getting my first client was definitely like a long journey for me, but or getting my first few clients at least. But I guess the key message that I would tell anyone would be that you just need to pick your skill, get good at your skill, and then just offer it to people for free. It's literally the easiest way to get your foot in the door and start making money online, is to get good at something and actually get good, and then just do it for free, because people won't say no to that. And then just let the snowball sort of go from there, rack up some case studies. But yeah, fast forward from that, it started snowballing pretty quickly. Once we had sort of 5-6 clients, we got more and more each and every month. The outreach started to get easier, ads started to get easier, organic content started to get easier, just because we did start building a name for ourselves, and I started building that name for myself. So literally the journey from getting 1 to 70 clients revolved around doing good work and doing it consistently. It was no like special tricks or hacks. Like, we scaled mainly off having just really good systems in place and doing really good work for people. So it's pretty much my story in a nutshell of how we went from 1 to 70 clients. Send DMs on Instagram, do free work, quit your job at some point once you're making enough money, and then just keep the ball rolling from there. Pretty simple, but I hope this story sort of, I don't know, gives someone the right idea, or help give someone clarity on what to do next. More of this content to come, probably.